Hey there, it's me, Toshpolatova Mahbuba Ikramовna, EFL teacher of Fergana Regional Upgrading and In-Service Center. So thank you for joining my lesson, and dear teachers, let's get started our session. And today we are going to talk about one of the most interesting and most important topic, and it is innovative techniques in teaching pronunciation. As you know, pronunciation is so important while teaching or learning any language, because pronunciation is an essential component of language learning. So in today's lesson we will see and discuss how to teach pronunciation effectively. So in today's session, we will try to answer the following questions. So the first one is, should we teach pronunciation at all? And the next one is, what is the goal of teaching pronunciation? Then we will talk about aspects of pronunciation. Do we need to teach? And how can teachers help the students to practice pronunciation? So let's get started. So before starting the new theme, I want you to give some answers to the following questions. But answers may vary. So, do you teach English phonetics to your students? Do you speak to your students in English, and do you listen to what they say? And the next one is, how do you teach pronunciation to your students? And the next one is, what standards of pronunciation do you follow? And the last one is, do you think that students of English should try to sound like native speakers? So have a little, think a little and try to understand to these questions. Okay, have you answered the given questions? Yes. And now here are given some possible answers which we got from our teachers. So some of our teachers say that they don't teach pronunciation because they think that it is a difficult process, or it is very complicated to teach pronunciation. And some of them say that there are not so many pronunciation activities are given in their textbooks. But this is not a problem, and you must be creative teachers, and you can use extra or optional activities, and you can find any pronunciation activities from internet sources by native speakers. And some of them says that it is difficult. Yes, but yes, it is difficult, but we should try to overcome these difficulties. And the next question was, how do you teach pronunciation to your students? And here are some answers are given. So I correct their mistakes, and I tell them how to pronounce certain sounds and words. I use tapes and CDs. I give them phonetic exercises and drills. And some of our teachers say that they use tongue twisters like she sells seashells on the seashore. And I encourage them to listen authentic English and to imitate native speakers' speed. And what about you? How do you teach pronunciation? And there were two more questions. So, what standards of pronunciation do you follow? And basically, there are two kinds of standards of English, so British English and American English. Obviously, we teach British English, but our students should know the differences between British and American English, because in real life, American English is mostly used. And the last question is, do you think that students of English should try to sound like native speakers? Yes. At least they should try to sound like native speakers. And what is pronunciation? So pronunciation is the way of producing the sounds that are used to make meaning when speakers speak. It involves consonants and vowels of a language segments features of speech beyond the level of the individual segments like stress, timing, rhythm, intonation, and others. Should we teach pronunciation? So here I given 2 points of view on teaching pronunciation. So the first point of view is students do not teach to learn pronunciation, because pronunciation will take care of itself as the students develop overall language ability. And the next one is failure in pronunciation is a great hindrance in language learning. Therefore, the teacher should spend some time in teaching pronunciation. So, which of the point of views do you agree? As for me, I agree with the second point of view. Yes, teaching pronunciation is very essential, because if your pronunciation is good, you will feel yourself free and confident, and people understand you easily. If your pronunciation is bad, you feel embarrassed when you are speaking. If your pronunciation is bad, people don't understand you. Even if your grammar is perfect, you know lots of grammar, it doesn't matter. People don't understand you. Even if you know lots of vocabulary, your vocabulary is good, it doesn't matter. If your pronunciation is bad, people won't understand you. So that we have to teach pronunciation constantly. What is pronunciation teaching? So, pronunciation teaching not only makes students aware of different sounds and sound features, can also improve their speaking immeasurably, showing where they are made in the mouth, making students aware of where words should be stressed. And here I given aspects of pronunciation. So native speakers or competent users of the language know how to say a word, that is, how to pronounce it. This knowledge is made up of 3 areas. So the first one is sound, and the next one is stress, and the next one is intonation. And here I given major reasons to teach pronunciation. Why do we teach pronunciation? Do we need to teach pronunciation? So the first, functional intelligibility, and the second reason, functional communicability, and the next one is increased self-confidence, and the last one is speech monitoring abilities. And the teachers, let's see each of them definitely. So, functional intelligibility, what is it? So, it is spoken English in which an accent is not distracting to the listener. So, your speech must be understandable. And functional communicability, learners' ability to function successfully within the specific communicative situations. And the next one is self-confidence. It is dependent on the ones mentioned above. So if your pronunciation is perfect, you feel free and confident yourself when you are speaking. And the next one is speech monitoring abilities. So good learners listen to the input and try to imitate it. In order to imitate some sounds, our students must listen and hear to us attentively. They should know how to listen and how to hear, and then they should imitate the given sounds. So, difficulties of pronunciation. Of course, there are some difficulties and challenges while teaching pronunciation. It is a little bit complicated topic, and we should constantly improve, practice pronunciation. According to Eliot, pronunciation is one of the most important features of an individual's speech, but a lot of teachers do not explicitly teach it. It is seldom taught by teachers in the foreign language classroom. In addition, it is one of the most difficult challenges that language teachers and learners face. If teachers understand the characteristics that impact their learners' pronunciation, they can effectively improve their instruction to increase the accuracy of their learners' pronunciation. Let's see some challenges and difficulties while learning or teaching pronunciation. So the first reason, it is a student's first language often interferes with English pronunciation. How can it be? For instance, in our mother tongue, we don't have some English phonemes like th letter combination the, th. And sometimes the students will be able to identify specific problem sounds, and sometimes they won't. So it is difficult for our students to produce the sound the and th. That is why our students mostly pronounce it as mother, father, this, that, instead of mother, father, this, and that. And the next one is resulting from differences in the first language is the inability to hear certain English sounds that the native language does not contain. And for problems such as these, listening is crucial because students cannot produce a sound they cannot hear. So as you see in here, listening and hearing, it is a very, very important thing. And descriptions of the sound and mouth position can help students increase their awareness of subtle sound differences. So mouth position is also very important. Some linguists says that pronunciation, it is a physical activity. In order to produce some sounds, we need to use our muscles, lips, tongues, and etc. Pronunciation features. Let's see some pronunciation features. Here are some ideas for focusing on specific pronunciation features. The first one is voicing. What is it? So voiced sounds will make the throat vibrate. So for example, g is a voiced sound while k is not, even though the mouth is in the same position for both sounds. G, k. And how to fix it? So have your students touch their throats while pronouncing voiced and voiceless sounds, like this. They should feel vibration with the voiced sounds only. G, g. And aspiration. So what is aspiration? It refers to a puff of air when a sound is produced. Many languages have far fewer aspirated sounds than English, and students may have trouble hearing the aspiration. And the English p, t, k, and ch are some of the more commonly aspirated sounds. And how to illustrate aspiration? How to illustrate aspiration? So have your students hold up a piece of facial tissue a few inches away from their mouths and push it with a puff of air, like this. P, t, t, k. So, and while pronouncing a word containing the target sound. Mouth position. Mouth position is also very important, and if you embarrass to show your mouth position to your students, feel embarrassed to show your mouth position to your students, and in this case you will use, can use simple diagrams of tongue and lip positions. So make sure all students can clearly see your mouth while your model sounds. And have students use a mirror to see their mouth, lips, and tongue while they imitate you. So this is, you can use this diagram, so mouth position. So as you see in here, for instance, when you produce the sound le, so here is shown lip position, teeth position. So l, and o, and s, d, g, k, na, and etc. And this is for the sounds f and v, q, w, b, m, p, and etc. And pay attention to the sound, the mouth position of the sound th. So as you know, th letter combination gives two sounds, so the and th. As you've seen here, there is a tongue. So th, the. So you can use this diagram, this picture. And let's talk about a little word stress, because stress is also very essential in pronunciation teaching. So word stress is your magic key to understanding spoken English. Native speakers of English use word stress naturally. And word stress is so natural for them that they don't even know they use it. Non-native speakers who speak English to native speakers without using word stress encounter two problems. So the first one, they find it difficult to understand native speakers, especially those speaking fast. And the next one is the native speakers may find it difficult to understand them. And what is the word stress? In English, we do not say each syllable with the same force or strength. In one word, we accentuate one syllable. We say one syllable very loudly. For example, big, strong, important, and all the other syllables very quietly. And let's take three words. So, photograph, photographer, and photographic. Do they sound the same when spoken? No. And because we accentuate stress one syllable in each word, and it is not always the same syllable, so the shape of each word is different. So there are two very important rules about word stress. One word, one stress. One word cannot have two stresses. So if you hear two stresses, you have heard two words, not one word. The stress is always on a vowel. This happens in all words with two or more syllables. Let's see them. Teacher, Japan, China, about, conversation, interesting, important, demand, etc. So the syllables that are not stressed are weak or small or quiet. Native speakers of English listen for the stressed syllables, not the weak syllable. If you use word stress in your speech, you will instantly and automatically improve your pronunciation and your comprehension. Intonation. As you know, intonation is also very, very important. If you use intonation correctly, your speech sounds naturally. So, word or sentence intonation can be mimicked with a cackle or alternatively by humming. And this will take the students' attention off the meaning of a word or sentence and help them focus on the intonation. And let's see the example. Would you please turn down the radio a little bit? So there are given two answers, and by using intonation, you can see they have different meanings. So the first answer, sorry, with the snack falling. No, I don't want to. The second answer, sorry, so with the rising. So what did you say? And linking. We pronounce phrases and even whole sentences as one smooth sound instead of series of separate words. Why English native speakers speak so fast? because they link all the words together. And will Amy go away is rendered will Amy go away? To help learners, linguists try starting at the end of a sentence and have them repeat a phrase, adding more of the sentence as they can master it. For example, go away. Then Amy go away. And finally, will Amy go away? Without any pauses between words. And informal sentences, how to fix it. What are you going to do tonight? How we will link it. So, what are you going to do tonight? And the next question, do you want to go to a movie tonight? How do we link it? Do you want to go to a movie tonight? So in this way, we can link the words. And so that English native speakers speak very fast. And let's have a talk about syllables. Have students count syllables in a word. Illustrate syllable stress by clapping softly and loudly. For example, the word beautiful would be loud, soft, and soft. As you've seen, it has 3 syllables. And practice with short lists of words with the same syllabic stress pattern. Beautiful, telephone, Florida, and then see if your learners can list other words with that pattern. How can we practice pronunciation with our students in funny way? So here are given some pronunciation activities. So pronunciation basketball. So in this game, students each receive some slips of paper with words on them. If they pronounce it correctly, they crumple the paper up and get a chance to toss it into the basket for a point for their team. If not, they keep it and get another chance when the game comes back to them. I recommend you to use this activity. And Chinese whisper, it is known for most teachers and it is used often. So it is very interesting activity, so you can use it to improve their pronunciation skills and listening skills. And using tongue twisters. Tongue twisters can be great fun to check out how well students can pronounce words and sounds. And here are some simple examples. A proper cup of a coffee in a proper coffee cup. Tongue twisters is very useful not only while teaching foreign language pronunciation, but in our mother tongue language, you can use tongue twisters. You can give to our children to use tongue twisters. And she sells seashells on the seashore. She sells seashells on the seashore. So a fat fly feels through the thick fork. Not these things here, but those things there. And you can use such kind of tongue twisters in your classes. So, and finally, here I give some suggestions for our teachers. And as you've seen, pronunciation is an integral part of communication that should be incorporated into classroom activities. And you should pay attention to the learners' needs and abilities and include pronunciation into their oral skills and other English classes. And you should help your learners to produce the English words accurately and increase their answers towards the importance of pronunciation into their classes. And you should use different techniques and strategies for teaching pronunciation. And keep lessons practical. For most students, even adults, theory and technical explanations are hard to understand and are easily forgotten. Simple concrete demonstrations followed by lots of practice produce better results. Lessons need to fit our students' level of understanding. Include communicative practice whenever possible. Students need to work towards using their new pronunciation in real speech. During class, we can help them practice in activities that are similar to real communication. Dear teachers, and now it's turn to finish our topic. As you know, pronunciation is a wide range of topic, and it is a little bit complicated topic, and it must be improved constantly. In every single lessons, try to practice in each lessons. So goodbye, see you the next lessons.